Hey, ladies, I'm super excited to be back with you with another interview with a powerhouse. Girls, you are going to love her. We were just speaking each other's love language. I can't wait for you to meet her. But first, let me welcome you to this Creating a $1 Million Year with real women and real conversations, hosted by me, Becky LaFave, where I empower you to grow your personal brand, your influence, and your online business. So each week we're talking about different topics with women entrepreneurs around the world. Wait until you find out where this one's from. I'm super excited about it. So, here's the cool thing. If you have any girlfriends that are in this online space and want to level up, hit that share button and get this message out there right away. Okay. So we're talking each week, every Monday, I bring another woman on. So you don't want to miss an episode. So today we are talking all about how to overcome your money mindset. Like, ladies, hello, we all got it. And we all need support. And the girls got it today to give it to us. So I'm super excited. So my guest, Michelle Margaret Marques. I told her I was going to probably mess that up, but Becky. And so Michelle is an author, award-winning leader, a mindset consultant, thinking pattern. We were just talking about that part, and a special advisor to clients who play a big game. How many of you out there, drop a 1 below right now, want to play a big game in your life? I would be dropping them like freaking crazy, and I know you will be too. So be dropping them down below if you're catching us even on the replay here, okay? And so her clients include leaders who lead with integrity, which is so important in my own life. She talks about vision and purpose. This is a bold way to live, and I encourage every single one of you, and obviously she does it too, and this is why I'm bringing her on today. Please welcome Michelle Margaret to the stage. Oops, here we go. Welcome, Margaret.
Hi, Becky. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. And I really don't mind that you messed my name up.
I told you, this is one of the things.
You are not the first, and you will most definitely not be the last.
Well, I always try to really work it out, but then in my head, it just doesn't come about. So you know what, ladies, this is the thing in life. You don't have to be perfect to run a business.
No, you most definitely don't.
So, Michelle, let us know, first of all, tell everybody where you're from, because I'm excited about it.
Well, I'm originally from Glasgow, Scotland, but that is not where I live right now. I live in the beautiful Caribbean island of Barbados. You should come and join me. Come.
I just want to join you on the beach. We're so jealous.
Yes.
You should have been doing this from the beach, girl.
I should have been, shouldn't I have? Oh, next time.
Maybe if the Wi-Fi is good enough, we'll get you there. So we really want to dive in today and talk about this money mindset, because I know for a fact, I dealt with it. I still deal with it. I'm always trying to overcome it, or at least try to catch it when I'm in it and try to reverse it. But I know this is something that is a big topic, and not that it just affects us personally, but it affects the people around us, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your children. This is a huge topic. And I'm so excited to be you're sharing this with us today.
Yeah, Becky, it's something, the reason I talk about it so much is because I struggled with it so much.
Yeah.
So let's just be real here, I'm not someone that doesn't still have these things going on in my life. And again, it's like you say, catch it every time, you get better at it and reframe it, right? That's the key.
Yeah. And, I was just listening to, I think it was a podcast the other day, and she was talking about, we have between 60 to 90,000 or 100 thoughts a day, and 75% of them are default or negative.
Yeah.
And how many of it is around money,
Yeah, a lot of it, actually. A lot of it is around. It affects all the decisions that we make in our life, literally.
Literally, yeah. Especially, everybody's talking about going into recession, whether you believe we're in one or we're not in one. that is creeping up in people's mind, is this money mindset too, where I'm seeing, and I don't know about you, but I'm seeing people like, oh, I don't want to spend any money to further my business. I don't want to spend any money to, like, how do you get wrapped into that and get out of that, right? So I'm so excited we're going to talk about this today. So number one, can you define what money mindset, what is it? And can you explain how it affects one's life?
Yeah, sure. I mean, money mindset, it sounds like such a mind-boggling thing, doesn't it, Becky? But it really truly just comes down to what your unique beliefs are about money, how you learned when you were a child, what you picked up along the way, mistakes you even made yourself with money, right? And it's your attitude towards money today. And as I said a moment ago, that affects all the decisions that we make about our income, about how we save money, about how we spend money, and automatically, how we handle money, really.
Yeah.
It affects all of those areas.
It's so funny that you say that because, there's been times that I obviously, because I push myself, there's a lot of times I failed in my life, and I look at that money that I spent and I used to say, oh my gosh, I wasted so much money. Instead of, I started reframing it and saying, you know what, that was an experience that got me to this next level. Now, did I achieve what I wanted to? No. But what did I learn from it, right? I started to try to reframe that. And is that what you're talking about when you talk about your past, like your past failures, you're bringing them into your future?
Yeah, if we don't make those mistakes, we can't learn, right? If we don't make the mistakes with money, with relationships, with business, with anything in our lives, we can't then take that lesson and say, okay, I don't want to do that again. That didn't feel good. If everything was always really good, then we probably would just be on a flat line, right? Plodding along.
Yeah, not really enjoying life at the fullest. I mean, when you think about it, it's through those highs and lows that really you can tell when you are so grateful for your life and things like that. Even though we would want it to stay equal all the time, it's really not what life is about, right?
We don't grow. We don't grow if it all stays, even a heartbeat goes up and down like this, right? It's meant to go up and down. It's meant to have ebbs and flows. Otherwise, we don't grow. We don't experience different things. We don't know what we want and what we don't want.
Yeah, that's so true. So ladies that are jumping on, please let us know by dropping a 2 below. Do you have a bad money mindset? And we're just being real women right now. We already said we do, we did, and we're working on always overcoming. So drop a 2 below if you're like, yes, girl, I can feel you. I got it too. And we're going to talk about some ways that you can overcome that. I mean, listen, this is a journey, just like she said. We're on a journey. So what are some common limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns people have around money, and how can they overcome them today?
Oh, this is a good one, Becky. I mean, we could do a whole entire show just on this one question alone, couldn't we? Yeah. Again, those limiting beliefs, when we were growing up and we always heard our parents or our grandparents, those around us, our teachers, whoever it might be, all of these things. Like for me, for instance, my father would always say, money doesn't grow on trees, don't buy something unless you have the money to buy it. Don't get into debt, all of these things. You have to work really hard to make good money. I'm sure we've all heard these things. Another one is, if you get rich, everybody will want to borrow money from you, right? That's always a good thing.
Or they think
your grandfather would say, don't loan money you can't afford to give away. All of these little things. And of course, the biggest one is, I never have enough. That's a real limiting belief, isn't it? I never have enough. So yeah.
So this is so funny, and what I'm really getting, and ladies, tell me if you feel the same way. It doesn't matter what culture you grew up in. We all heard the same things. Isn't this what's so interesting? Doesn't matter what culture you live in. Could you just, with what she shared, could you say, yep, I heard that, and you're in a totally different culture, right? Yeah. I mean, mind-blowing. So
amazing. We come from two separate sides of the planet, Becky, and we have the same limiting beliefs, right?
Yes.
Because it's human nature. People around us, they think they're protecting us, really. They think they're keeping us safe, but really, truly, they're setting us up for a lot of difficulty down the line. And they don't know that, of course. They're coming from a good place. They're coming from the place they were taught from, right? And haven't done the work that we are doing now to reframe these things.
Yeah.
So we're here doing that. And reframing is the key. You asked how to overcome. You reframing every single time you catch, we call it catch and scratch, right? I call it catch and scratch. Every time you feel these limiting beliefs, these fears, you catch it and you reframe it. The one where we're saying, if I was rich, everyone would want to borrow from me. Well, you could simply change that into, when I am rich, I'll be blessed and in a position where I can help the ones that I love, right?
Yes,
I will have more than enough to be able to take care of the people that I want to take care of. You'll have more than enough to, even if you wanted to, be able to give $500 to the homeless person on the street, right? And then that night, they're not going to go out and rob someone. They're not going to go out and do something. Maybe they can get on their feet. So that's the way to do it. The one where you got to work really hard, where, in order to make enough money. Well, first of all, we don't make money, right? There's a reframe from you. We don't make money. We create opportunities in order for other people to give us money for the service that we bring into them, or the help that we bring, or the product that we're giving them, right? And ultimately, the other one, I never have enough. Well, first of all, you need to really get clear on what enough is. Most of us are living in this world where actually we're not even recognizing what enough is. We're living, I think it's 76% of the USA, 300 million people, I think it is, the last I checked, living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, we've got to get very clear on what enough actually is, Becky. And then you've got to sit down and you've got to be able to say, okay, what do I need to cover everything? What do I need to cover what might come up in my life, right? Your parents get ill, you have to take care of them, your children, whatever the case might be. Maybe you have a sister that you want to take care of, or whatever that looks like to you. Look at all of these things. Look at everything that you are going to need, not just for the next year, not just for the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the next 25 years. And really look at what enough looks like that will cover everything comfortably and then some. And then you got to reverse engineer that. But we'll get into that a little bit later in the conversation.
Yeah. I love that because, ladies, drop some fire below for her, because this is resonating so much. I mean, literally, we do have an abundant life. Like most of us, come on, let's face it, we live in such an abundant life. Yeah. And what is enough? What is enough? And it's funny that you say that, because we became empty nesters a year ago, and, we've been married for 32 years. And,
Wow.
Me and my husband are having this conversation, like, what is enough? What does the next part of our life look like? What is, we built the big house. We had all the things that we envisioned and grew. Now at this stage of our life, what do we want and what's enough? Right? So I love that you shared that, because I feel like there's a lot of women saying to themselves right now, whether you're single, married, whatever's going on in your life, what can you really break down and be enough about, and really get it dialed in, so for yourself, not what somebody else is telling you is enough, right? Because I feel like that's what's going on with us ladies. Like, we want all of the things, which I know, but really, what is it that you really want is the most important piece.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth, Becky. That's it. I mean, we see someone on social media, and they're saying, "Oh, I just had a $10,000 month, or I just had a $25,000 month, or I just had a $100,000 launch." That's wonderful. But if that's not what you really want to go after in your heart, or you want to go after more than that, then you got to get absolutely obsessed with what that is and do the math and work out what that looks like, right? What does that mean you have to earn a year? What does that mean you have to earn every month? What does that look like every week? What does that look like on a daily basis? What does that look like every hour, every minute? I mean, you could even take it down to the second if you really wanted to get that. But you've got to know what that actually looks like, and you have got to be you got to make that so important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the energy of money doesn't happen today. You know, when you see these people, oh, I want to make 10,000 this month, I want to make 15,000 next month, I want to make, these are pie in the sky. You know, when you sit and you say, oh, I want to make 285,000 because Donna's making that, she just did a launch and she just had a year. No, you've got to get down to what your why is, what really matters to you, because that's what's going to take you there. And that's what's going to make the universe and all of the opportunities swing and come into place in order to make that happen for you.
Yeah.
And you got to get real about it 10 years out. That's my advice to you guys. Get real about it 10 years out, because these kind of income structures don't happen in a year. They don't happen in a month. And if you're changing what you want every month because you saw Anne do it, or you saw Mary do it, or you saw Michelle do it, or whatever, the universe is not going to bring it to you. You got to get very precise about what you want every day, every month, every week, every year. Yeah. That's what makes it happen.
That's true. And it's that powerful of your vision, right? That you're talking about. Have that vision of what you want it to look like for yourself, not because of so-and-so down the road or online. So I love that.
And it matter to you. It's got to really matter to you, because on those mornings when you're tired and you don't feel like doing the 100 emails that you've got to write, or the whatever it is that you've got to do, that's when that momentum will kick in. That's when that why will take you to where you need to go those days, because we don't always feel like it, right, ladies? You're dealing with a lot. I'm a single mom. I get it. You know, I've got a child to deal with. I have a dog to deal with. I have a house to deal with. I have all the bills to deal with. I've got everything to deal with on my shoulders. But my why is my daughter. My why is having her have what she wants, to have fun with her, to be able to go out to the beach, which is 10 minutes away, right? To be able to go hang out, have fun, go kayaking in the ocean, which we do. We have a blow up kayak, you know, all of these things, to be able to take time and to be able to actually enjoy life, right, Becky?
Yeah, so important. And I feel like, you know, in my younger years, when we look back, you know, owning my own business for all that time, and really it was the grind. I was all about the grind. And because, like I said, I had all the stinking thinking of the money mindsets that was put on us, which is generational deep, right? Yeah. And we're here to create something different. We're here to say no more. We don't have to live with that. You know, I was just talking to one of my clients the other day, and she does a lot of research for the Mayo Clinic here. And she said that we have 7, let's see if I'm going to get this right, 7 generational deep. Our cells are 7 generations deep. So that right there alone, if you look back 1 generation of your family, 2 like what was going on back then, you're still bringing that in. So you get the opportunity to break it, right? You get to one.
All of that ancestry, all of those things, all of those limiting beliefs, all of the trauma and all of the stuff that happened in your generations lives in your cells. You know, it's not just this is great, you know, reframing things. Why I actually personally do a lot of work with an energy coach. Sounds very woo-woo, but all of those emotions are trapped in ourselves. And I know from my own personal experience, I've had to let go of so much stuff. It wasn't even mine.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're holding on to
even mine.
Yeah. We're holding on to ish that it doesn't even belong to us, and you don't even realize it. That blew my mind when she said that our cells 7 generations deep. I'm thinking, whoa, like here's a huge opportunity for you to recognize and say, that's not even my stuff to own. Like,
and let me tell you, from personal experience working with Liz, my energy coach, she most always And I say 98% of the time, she'll say, okay, that's not even yours. That's ancestral. That's your father's. That's your this. That's that.
Yes.
You know, and it's just like, whoa, you mean I'm walking around with all this trauma and all this self-doubt and all this self-abuse and all of this unworthiness and all of this whatever? It's not even mine?
Right. Get the baggage
Please
out
take
of
it away. Please just take it away.
here. Right? Take the baggage out. Oh, I love this conversation. Okay, let's move on to number 3 question. How can somebody identify and change their money mindset to better align for their financial goals and values? We kind of did talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, there's there's so many tools that you can use for this, and I had to really sit and think about this one, Becky. The first one, and it's an absolute must. You have to understand and identify what your unique limiting beliefs are, right? Because you might have the same as me, you might have some of the same as Becky's, but you will have your own unique ones, right? As well. You gotta really dig deep. You got to really get real with yourself. You got to sit there and you've got to get your journal out, a really pretty one, whatever it might look like to you. And you've just got to not hold back. You've got to get real. And then you've got to look at what your true desires are, because desire is on the other side of fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first one. Another good one is your money story.
Yes.
Or write your money story. And believe me, when you get real with your money story, all of the limiting beliefs you have around money will show up in that story. It will be there in that story. So write that down, get to the core of these beliefs. It's hard work. I know it's hard work, but let me give you a couple of questions that you can focus on when you do that.
Yeah, awesome.
What was your first memories about money? That's the place to start, because that's where most of our crap comes from, right?
Mm-hmm.
What beliefs did these memories instill in you? What stories did you tell yourself as a result of these things, right? That's where to look for that. What fearful thoughts come up when you think about money? Because there's fear, there's anxiety in our bodies. You could actually feel it in the part of your body when you sit and really get real with yourself. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Money isn't the problem. Fear is the problem.
So
Fear is the problem when it comes to money. Money was never a problem. Money's not your problem. Money's a tool. Money is just a tool. It's an energetic tool to get what you want. Money is what gets you the life that you want, the life that fits you, the life that's in your desires. Money's not actually the end goal, right? It's just
true.
it's just the vehicle that takes us to where we want to go.
That's so true. Oh, that's so true. And and listening to you, ladies, if listening to this and all of a sudden you get an aha moment, share your aha moment. I had an aha moment, and this happened, when me and my husband were making big decisions and we're putting some money down on some things, and it popped in my head like was like this fear was coming over me about spending this money. And I was like, no, I'm breaking free, right? I'm breaking free of this. So I was pushing through, and out of my mouth came that moment is money is abundance, and I always attract more. There's more
Yeah.
where this is coming from, right?
And Becky, can I just help you reframe that spend? You see this thing we have with spend money? We don't ever spend money. You just said it right there. We create more. Money's a circulation. There's a reason why it's called a circulation. When you look at your electrics, it's a circuit, right? It goes all the way through, from the box through and back to the circuit breaker. It's a circulation. We pay out, we create more in. We pay out, we create. And the best thing that you can do is actually have the same attitude towards paying out as you do to receiving it back in. Because if you don't, you're blocking the receiving side of the circulation, right? I have a little saying: when I pay money to the cashier or to whoever it might be, I silently say to myself, arigato out. I'm grateful that I have the capacity to have that money to give to them. I'm grateful to be able to pay my bill, right?
Yeah.
My electricity bill is due, my phone bill is due, my whatever. Arigato out. I have the income that I need. I have the resources, the tool that I need to be able to pay these things, right?
Mm.
And I know I have trust in myself, because that whole thing about spending is us not trusting that we have the capacity to bring more back in, right?
Mm. I love that. So creating more, not spending, creating more. That's a great
Circulation out and
energy of money, right? The
it's an energy of money. Yeah, out. I'm grateful I can pay it out. I'm happy. Thank you. I've got it. And arigato. And every time money comes into your bank account, every time you have a client sign up, every time you have a proposal call or whatever that looks like, a sales call, whatever that, arigato in. Because that's a possibility. That's opening energy to more possibilities, more money. So you have more to pay out, right?
Mhm.
You have more to give out, more to give to that stranger, to your aunt, to your cousin, to your mum, whoever that might be, to the charity that you want to support.
I love
And
that.
of course, the other thing I want to just finish this question on is get very clear on your goals. We spoke about this slightly at the beginning of the conversation. Get real with yourself. What do you want in your life? What is the big, wild desire that you have? We all have them.
Mhm.
It's time to stop dumbing them down. You know, if you're going to create any wildest dreams in your life, they have to be pretty damn wild in the first place. They have to be.
Amen.
You
Yeah.
can't create it any other way. And then that gives you the momentum, like I was saying, the days when we don't feel like it, we're human. But that drives us forward. Get really clear on what you want.
Yeah.
Even, you know, is it that you want more time out? Is it that you want to travel? Is it that you want a big house? Is it that whatever that might look like to you? Maybe you just want a little house with a white picket fence.
Right. Maybe you just want to live on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a client who doesn't have the desire to make millions and millions. She just wants, there's that word again, enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's whatever that looks like to you.
Yeah, that is such great advice. Okay. So can you provide some, like a particular tip to managing the money, like saving, investing, anything like that, that might help another sister out there right now? Hey, Gail, Kimberly, nice to see you here. Thanks for joining us.
I'm going to smash some boxes here.
Yes, bring
really
it to us, right? Lady Teller brings us the good.
Because I don't actually subscribe to the traditional way of saving money.
Okay.
I have to say, I don't. And it's great. Please keep doing it if that's your thing. But let me tell you the way I do it. This is me. I take 40% of my income and I put it into, I call a wealth building account. Of course, it's a savings account. That's what they're called. I call it a wealth building, with the absolute purpose of something that I'm going to invest that money in. And that's something I'm going to invest that money in is something that's going to create more money for me. It's going to create cash flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm ready to make that investment, I take everything from that bank account and I invest in that thing. It may be a home. Right now, I'm currently looking for homes in Barbados to invest in as a holiday let, as a place for my clients to stay when they come on retreats, right? This is going to make me more money, right? So I take that account back to zero, because that makes me want to push more again. That brings me back to that uncomfortable place where we grow, right? Where we have to get up and build the momentum again. And I start all over again. But when I start all over again, I already have the next investment in mind. I'm already planning what cash flow is coming from the next one, right? So when that cash flow is coming in, I use that cash flow to pay all my bills. I don't use my income. My income is used to invest in me, to invest in my business, to invest in the investments I want to make, right? The cash flow covers my standard of living, and my standard of living doesn't change until there's more than enough cash flow in order to increase that standard of living. That's how serious you need to be about the energy of money. So I don't save away for a rainy day. I don't save. I don't have 3 months savings in the bank account, 3 months of my bills. I don't. I have money for investments, and my investments cover everything and more.
Yeah.
I don't own my own house. There's another smash box. I don't own my own house currently. I have property I own that makes me money, right? I have investments in businesses where I've invested to help people get started. That makes me money. I rent my house because it's not an asset when I'm buying my house, right? Right now I'm building my wealth. I'm building my generational wealth. That's my mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I have enough cash flow, where I have enough money to just buy my property outright and it's no longer a liability, that's when I'll do that, right? So that's my way of saving. That's my way of investing. That's my way of growing wealth.
Yeah.
Sounds very serious, doesn't it, Becky? But that's how you have
No,
to.
that's, I think what we've been taught our whole life, and what, as you know, growing as entrepreneurs and in a different world that we live in today, you know, the top 1%ers, that's what they're doing right there. They
That
don't,
is what they're doing.
they're investing, and they're
This is what I was taught by a billionaire.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
this is what they've always been doing. You know,
Yes.
this
And we, as society has taught us differently, buy your home, live in your home, you know, all of these things, and you end up staying
don't have
poverty.
debt unless, of course, you know, it's to buy your home, which keeps you tied to a job where you're working your backside off, right? You buy a car on finance, so you have to work harder to pay it off. Go on holiday, take out a credit card so you can go on vacation. Sorry, guys, you US guys. You know, so that it keeps us small. But really, truly, you can leverage debt to be able to make more money. That's what wealthy people do all day long, all their whole entire lives. That's how people build generational wealth that gets passed down from one generation to the next generation to the next, right? That's what I'm doing now. I will be the first generational wealth builder in my entire family.
Oh,
right?
so you're going to change the cells.
Yes, for those to come.
Lady,
With any of that stuff anymore, Becky.
That's right. Nobody's getting stuck on
The
those
stuff that
cells
we've
anymore.
had to unpack. Oh my gosh! Like seriously, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on unpacking all of this stuff and
Yes.
fixing it.
It's so true. It is so true. And you know, you got to continue to grow and continue to move forward, and not stay in a place of, you know, lack, like you said, this poor money mindset. You have to be able to move forward and have different beliefs around this money. So how can somebody avoid falling back into old negative thought patterns and habits around this money mindset? Because, you know, let's just face it, like, let's say you start working and everything is going into place and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, which you do want to speak life into it. Let's face it.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden you get a setback and you're like, and all of a sudden something will grasp hold of you, right? And that unwinding of what you tried to work past will catch up to you. So how do you help avoid that?
Yeah, these things will always happen, right? And again, that's where your wealth planning, where your goals and where your, you know, intention will help you bypass those things. But of course, the mind part of it is be very intentional. Again, catch it, scratch it. Every time you catch that, you say, no, this isn't my reality anymore. That was the past. This doesn't serve me any longer. You have to recognize it and you have to tell it. Then reframe it with the new belief.
Yes.
Empower the new belief. Because it's one thing just catching that, oh, I'm having a negative belief, but you've then got to replace that with, this is my belief, right? This is now my new reality. This is my new story. This is the story I'm living in now. Be very, very intentional about your financial goals. I've said that several times. You guys probably think that I sound obsessed with money.
Well, that's what we want to learn, right? How to be obsessed. I mean, that's the game. How do you be obsessed to gather more? Because when you have more money, let's face it, you, like you already said, you can do bigger things in the world. You can help more, you can create more, you can do more. And you don't have to live up to those old limiting beliefs that were pushed onto you that we talked about earlier.
They don't serve us. They don't serve us. If they did serve us, we wouldn't be trying to learn about money now, would we? We'd be living on a yacht in the middle of the ocean somewhere, or whatever that looks like
Yes,
to you.
Would
right?
be. Me and you would be there.
Me and you would be, yeah. We would most definitely be in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Yes.
You guys might want to be somewhere else. So, catch it, switch it, add meaning. I keep talking about why. Add that meaning. What is it for you? For me, it's my daughter, being able to have fun with her and travel and give her the life and me have the life, and to be able to help 1 billion women. That's actually my real true business why. All right, 1 billion women. I know, I told you I'm obsessed.
Yeah. And that's what I believe you need to be to grow your business. You have to be obsessed with who you serve, right? You have to be obsessed. And that's where you're going to grow and release that money mindset.
Let it go. Kick it out. Like, I don't know what you want to do with it. Beat it up, like throw it off the side of the bridge. You don't need it. It's not going to serve you. The more you catch these limiting beliefs, and the more you reframe it, and the more you put empowerment into your goals and your why and your finances, the more you're going to build a new neural path. It's called neuroplasticity. This is where I get all a bit scientific.
Yeah.
And it takes about 6 months to a year. And these things will keep coming up. Like Becky says, they don't think it's not going to fix overnight. You're not going to listen to me today. Although I wish it was the truth. Listen to me today and be like, whoa, right, my whole financial life is sorted out. No, these things are going to keep coming up. They still come up for me, for goodness sake, And again, the same thing. I just catch it. I'm just building that neuropath, and less they will come up, and it will be less strong each time. And eventually 1 or 2 of them will float away, and you won't ever feel them again or think of them again or whatever. And you just got to keep doing that. Just keep tiny steps upon tiny steps upon tiny steps. And you'll look back in a year's time, 2 years' time, 4 years' time, like me, living in the UK 4 years ago, struggling as a single mum to make ends meet, running a business that was not working for me. And Becky, I used to be in the spa industry, had my own skincare line, was not working. I was working all the hours under the sun, and I still didn't have enough money at the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
All of that time. And I made a decision to change some real bold, drastic things in my life. And I now live in Barbados.
Where I get to come and visit.
4 years, guys, 4 years.
Powerful, right?
Really lasered in, when you get really focused, when you get obsessed.
Yeah.
You can make it happen. In fact, it's taken me less than 4 years. I've lived here for 3.5 years. But, I didn't build my whole entire life that I have now. But I've lived here for 3.5 years, and I've been building it up and building my lifestyle. And I travel to the US, and I speak, and I go to events, and come back here to my little retreat, right?
Yeah. And rebuild your own stuff. You got to, and that's the thing. Like, no matter what age you're at, whether you're starting out or you're rebuilding a new identity of who you want to become, it's never too late to start now. And that's the beautiful message that I really heard today. So thank you so much, Michelle Margaret. I love you. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
So connected. So where can people reach you?
My unusual name, Michelle Margaret Marques .life. That is my website. Of course, you'll find me on all the social media platforms. That name, I'm really not that hard to find. You won't find, in fact, you won't, let's me just be real, you won't find anyone else with that name. So, and if you do want more, and this is really not a plug, I realized this morning when Becky asked me to talk about this subject. I'm starting a money impact mastermind on the 28th of March, actually. And it really wasn't planned because Becky only gave me this topic on Saturday. So I promise you it was not planned as a plug. But check my website out. If it resonates with you, sign up. I would love to help you with this stuff.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you. Have a fantastic day.
And let's plan that trip to Barbados.
Yes. Hi. I'm down. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon. All right, ladies. Once again, another powerhouse woman in the house. What I took away, there was so much to take away, but as I was trying to write down, catch it and scratch it. Like, does that just click? It clicked with me. And then you're going to go and reframe it. So if you didn't write down everything, go back, share this with a sister. I mean, we unpacked some amazing stuff today here with Michelle Margaret. So go back, rewrite this down, and take action today. This is why we do these. All right. Until next time, stay lit in your business, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.